20 drivers will hope that Lady Luck is on their side as we see where the chips will fall for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It is episode 127 of the Eaton Asphalt Podcast. We made it to another American race. I was getting tired. I in my head, I was always like, we're not racing in America enough. Like, when can we race more in the States? And prayers answered.
Our European followers and listeners have been saying this, and finally we're like, we got you, fam.
Yeah.
More races in here.
Our back is starting to hurt from having to carry this whole F1 season.
Yeah. Any other countries doing the same? I don't think so.
Couldn't. Don't got the balls. on this episode of the podcast, we got recent news. Haven't done that in a little while. Vegas Grand Preview, country fun facts, gambling paddock for Vegas, and race predictions. Let's get right into it with our recent news. All right, starting off. Do you want to sing me happy birthday?
Hey, happy birthday. Sorry, I can't really see in these glasses. So sorry, it takes me a little bit to figure it the fuck out. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Happy birthday. Happy
Nice.
birthday, Lando Norris. He is turning 17 years old today, the big 1-7. So, yeah, good for him.
What'd you just say?
I said, how old is he? Probably like 26.
Okay, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
No,
Like, I can barely see, but I thought I could hear.
24. He's 24 years old.
Right.
Happy
That
birthday,
checks out.
Lando. Yeah,
Nice. Happy birthday, dude. Good for him.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on, Carlos Sainz has he's a fun guy outside of the track. One of the more fun guys. We see him making out with girls at clubs. Now it's just more recently just throwing thirst traps. It's him and George Russell really take most of the grid at showing like, hey, look, I got, I'm pretty skinny and got good abs. I'm going to show it to every single person.
Yeah, I'm never gonna hate on a thirst trap. I will say though, it did take me back. You forget how, like, I think athlete is in my head, and I'm like, oh, these guys are like absolutely yoked. And then you see Carlos Sainz. If you take out his face, it looks like a 16, 17-year-old man, little young man, young adult man.
Young man, yeah. It's like a kid on a sophomore on the high school soccer team.
Yeah, he's fit, obviously.
Yeah.
He's, you just see him.
Those high school girls, they love those type of bodies for sure.
There's no one more popular than him in any high school.
Do you want me to go?
Nope. Thanks to Haas for the right of review procedure. Used to have a 14-day period, and now thanks to Haas, it's now 96 hours after a race. Very kind way for the FIA to tell Haas to fuck off.
Yeah, it's just like, we're not going to look 2 races ago being like, hey, check out this race. So, yeah, I like it. Makes them, if they're going to make a decision, make it soon.
Yeah, love it.
Speaking of Haas, this is fun. American track, American race. Haas is in the news a lot. That's a good thing, the right of refusal or right of procedure. Now, this is also good. They are having to split between their old and new car package for this weekend. Typically, when I hear that, I'm saying like, this car has figured it out. This team has got it under control and things are going well.
Show me one race where someone has upgraded to their new car package and it hasn't gone exactly well. Perfectly right.
Yeah, so I think they're playing it safe. Being like, this could be a disaster. Let's keep up with the other one that's also kind of a disaster.
Love it. Speaking of disaster, the competition's been kind of a disaster this year with Red Bull pulling way too far ahead of the grid. But luckily, dude, great news. Christian Horner said it's going to be much closer next year. So,
the guy, Christian, dude,
got nothing to worry about.
It's fine, dude. Hey, these guys don't like to sandbag. I've known that. I've seen this out of them a lot, and they say they're true to form.
Show me one team principal in F1 history that has been way ahead of everyone else and has been sandbagging. You can't.
Yeah, just like, oh, this is the year that everyone's back. And it's like, oh, this is the year, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Our last recent news, Pirelli expecting a lot of complaints about the Vegas GP tire performance. We've seen some practice laps already for this weekend, and it is bad. I think we'll obviously talk about it when we talk about the track itself. It's going to be a pretty cold. I think this is going to be like the coldest race in like 30 years or something like that. And so these tires, it's also a very straight track, which we'll talk about on the Vegas, the Grand Preview. Two of those things do not work together. You cannot have a very straight track because it doesn't warm with the tires, and the track is cold in general for the weather. The practice laps, the cars were just spinning uncontrollably. So this is gonna maybe be a disaster.
Yeah, here's what I saw though, because it's gonna be like a low of like 50 a whole week, which is not as bad as I thought it was. Because
Yeah.
F1 thinking like F1 Twitter was making me really be like kind of panicky. I guess I just don't know like degrees if they're Celsius, but they were like it's gonna be 4 degrees, and I'm like
Yeah.
that sounds like
It's just holy shit.
yeah. I have no idea like what that actually means, but yeah, it's gonna be like 10 degrees in that made up Celsius thing that they do over there. So I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. I think it was a good move for them to make us panic, and then once they see it, it's gonna be like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. But
Yeah, this track is great, actually.
yeah, yeah, dude. Well, we'll talk about the track. But speaking of which, actually, let's move on from our recent news to our Vegas Grand Preview. All right, let's talk about this track. First off, it's been out on the internet already, but it is so hilarious that someone had pointed out that the track looks like Spider Pig.
Identical.
Yeah, not a super curvy track. Tires, as we mentioned, going to be struggling to get some temperature here. Pirelli, being a bunch of nerds, little worry worms over there at Pirelli, are like, oh, people might be in grave danger.
Hey, everyone turned out fine in Brazil at a
It's fine.
stadium collapse. This is
Yeah,
fine.
dude,
No problem.
this is JV. But anyway, been plenty of negative things. If you look on the news, everyone's like, "Oh, I hope that F1 gets bankrupt because of what they're doing to our city," and like, "Oh, this is unsafe and this is a big scam because my hotel, won't refund me even though I don't have a spot to sit at the race anymore." A lot of negative. We don't have to focus on that. Going to be plenty of that after the race. Let's the track itself. Track is long. I didn't know how long this was going to be. The only track we've got longer than this one is Spa. So this is like 6.2 kilometers long, 3.8 miles. A lot of high speed corners, 17 turns, 2 DRS zones. Three things I'm most looking forward to about this track are: one, the starting grid is curved. So I think it's like if you start P12 or behind, your first race is a race to turn 17, and then you have a race to turn 1,
Oh,
which is like kind of
that's
lit.
cool. I
It
kind of
is
like that a
cool.
lot.
I know. Downside is if your tires aren't warmed up and you try to take too big of a curve.
Can't really put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. So I think you're at a
Oh,
big time advantage if you're not starting like, P12 or behind.
those
But it,
guys already needed they already had too much an advantage anyway. Those guys in the back of the grid, typically,
yeah,
you got to put a little handcuff on them.
dude, you can't have them go.
Logan Sargent, you can't have him just coming in at our home track with nothing holding him back. That's gonna be a recipe for disaster.
Max might not win the championship. He might have enough points deducted because of how cool Logan Sargent's.
Wow.
Anyway, celebrity appearances. I think that this is going to rival Super Bowl, Met Gala type like, levels of celebrity that we're going to see out here. Imagine like UFC fights, right? But it's going to be like all the international crowd like to a UFC fight but bigger. And then finally turns like 5 and 9 look like the only real like section of the track that looks like a Formula 1 track. You go from like a 90-degree right-hander into a curved left-hander. It's just like a little more finicky. Basically, the rest of the track is somewhat of an angle on a high-speed corner, and it's going to be a lot of who has the least amount of drag on this. And yeah, it's always a Max Verstappen win predicted, but I think Max might win this race by about a lap.
Supermax?
Super Max.
Supermax. Good. That's exciting.
And then
Also, this lap, I mean, this was $500 million for this weekend.
That's expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to get their money's worth after everything we've been seeing.
Yeah, prices drop like prices for hotels dropping like 58%, tickets dropping like
A
45%.
lot of available tickets now. Yeah, not a great feeling. Flights are still expensive, bastards.
Yeah, what are?
Flights.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, the one thing that I would cave in and be like, all right, I'm in, is still ridiculous.
Weather's gonna be nice though. It's in the desert, so we're not gonna have a lot of rain. High of 72 on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday 69. Basically, so we're racing. It's gonna be weird because we're racing on Thursday night.
Yeah,
First practice is Thursday night, so it's gonna be a bit of a mind fuck to watch Formula
yeah,
One and then wake up and go to work.
yeah. So yeah, the race is actually at midnight. So the one thing about playing like racing on the Western Hemisphere that I like, normal track times, normal start times. This is worse than almost every other. This is like Japan.
Yeah, this
We have
is
2 a.m. quals. We have midnight racing. What's going on?
arguably the worst on definitely the
I
worst
can't. I
calendar.
can't think of worse times.
Yeah, well that sucks.
So yeah, great.
But at least it's gonna go really well as far as like all the residents being happy that it's there.
Yeah, one more thing I want to add to this track that I found I think is going to go really well again is I don't know if you saw they put like it was like $250 million the pit wall that they built from scratch. The pit exit. So actually you exit into turn one. The obviously the natural turn into going into turn one for these drivers that are out on track is to take the inside. That's where the drivers coming out of the pit are going to be. Don't know how that's going to work because if they're coming out at the same time, the natural line is going to be inside track. They're not going to have that natural line. So
When you're in Vegas, I feel like the idea of Vegas is just like live in the like tomorrow is a tomorrow problem.
don't think about this shit. Yeah, just
Yeah,
fucking do it.
you live in the moment. What happens there stays there, and then like all you have to answer for all your like consequences come when you wake up in the morning. I feel like that's the Vegas experience that's going on right now, where people are just like, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, there's going to be crashes coming out of the pit lane. Yeah, we're doing a curved start. Like, yeah, it's going to be too cold. Well, let's worry about that's a Sunday problem or a Saturday night, I guess, since we're racing
Yeah,
so late.
yeah. I guess it'll make the people that are really tired of the American folk come in and change in F1. They're gonna be. This is probably their Super Bowl.
This is
Like
this.
they're all their pent up complaining. They're like, this is the epitome. This is where we shine.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, enough about Vegas. Let's go to Vegas country fun facts. Good segue. All right, let's talk about I mean, this is our third US fun facts. So I don't know if what you did. I had more of a focus on Vegas, but I'll hand it over to you to go first.
Big specific as well. I got a couple. I'll do my three, and then I'll just throw them in at the end if we don't get the other ones. The fountains and the man-made lake at the Bellagio, they
Yeah.
use gray water. You hear about this?
No.
So that it sounds pretty cool, right? It's recycled water from showers, bathtubs, and sinks throughout the city. So when you're there, like checking out, get some sprinkles from the fountains. Technically, that probably could be considered a golden shower.
Why would
All right,
anyone know about that? They should not have
yeah,
told anybody.
yeah, they should have kept that on the low. I saw that on a couple fun facts. Those are concerning facts, I would say.
Yeah.
Number two, the people in Las Vegas consume more shellfish in one day than the entire United States does in 1 year.
No way, dude.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
way. No.
Three fun facts about Vegas sites said the same thing, and I just cannot get my head around it. They said, let me see. People in Vegas love shellfish so much they reportedly consume 60,000 pounds or 30 tons per day. That's more than the entire country collectively eats in an entire year. No,
Just no way.
there's just, it's physically impossible.
It's landlocked. And it's
They are a big, like they do import, like I know that they're a big fish, seafood, big thing, lobster, all that. That's huge for them. Insane numbers just don't add up.
I'm gonna have yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I'll believe you.
I didn't make it up. I swear. This is from others that probably made it up. All right, my last one that might be also not true. I don't know. This is the first time I heard this as well. The Vegas Strip is not actually in Las Vegas. So it's actually it's geographically, technically in like Clark County, which is close right next to Vegas.
Interesting.
Don't know if that's true either.
You might have just gotten one fun fact and two
I
fun
said
things
fun.
to say.
These are country fun sentences.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
Uh,
my
nice. Did you know that atomic testing and tourism used to go hand in hand in the 1950s in Las Vegas?
oh yeah.
Era of nuclear testing in Nevada, some casinos in Las Vegas promoted atomic viewing parties. You gather on a rooftop, get your friends around you, watch the mushroom clouds from the atomic bombs in the distance. I think the root of where I have a problem with this is I just don't understand atomic bombs because I would have thought if you can like see it, you're like impacted. You at least like feel it. You know, you get the that you
You
got
might
knocked.
get a little like wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think that like they're probably 60 miles away from some of these.
and that's enough. Like I don't know. I guess atomic bombs.
I
I don't get it.
different strokes for different sizes, like
Yeah.
a mini atomic bomb,
Oh, like the this is
like
like
lowercase a bomb,
yeah.
you know.
I saw this in case you're ever looking to go to Vegas, Marco. One of the oldest swingers club in the city, the Green Door, operates discreetly, offering a place for couples to explore their fantasies. Known for its green exterior,
Nice.
lack of signage, adding an extra layer of secrecy. So if you and the wife ever want to go to Las Vegas, and
Doesn't seem that secret, right?
yeah, yeah, I don't know,
And
probably better
question
than one that's on.
follow up: if it's so like publicly known, isn't this illegal? Is that illegal?
I don't. I think in Vegas they're like that big time turn the other cheek location,
Yeah, yeah.
or
I
they're
guess swingers club is probably fine. Yeah, it's not prostitution.
prostitution's legal in Vegas.
So I'm sure swingers it has that's not a problem for them at all. Then
Yeah,
never mind. I retract my statement.
they. Speaking of, I guess mine have a theme here.
Oh God.
X-rated weddings. Las Vegas known for its themed weddings, but there's a chapel that takes it a step further. Erotic Heritage Museum's chapel offers adult themed weddings, allowing you adults to add a touch of spice to their nuptials. So, I guess I'll yeah, I guess I'll let people fill in the blank here. But what would your theme be?
You're do we have an example? I'm so lost on what this could entail.
I don't want to look up on my internet. I just cleared my
Come on, dude. You already got there. You just got a couple more clips and you're fine.
Gambling paddock, Las Vegas.
All right. A few other fun ones. Area
Yeah.
51. That's fun. The city receives around 4 inches of rainfall each year. So it's a pretty heavy desert area. And yeah, and then kind of with weddings, 300 weddings every single day in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So
Interesting. I would have thought higher, but that feels right now that you say it.
yeah, I thought when I heard it, I was like, that's not that much. And I was like, actually, every day, yeah, that adds up.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Fun.
Well, let's move on to our gambling paddock for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. All right, Marco, you went first for our country fun facts. So I'm gonna go first here. This is crunch time for your boy to make up some points. We're gonna start off red hot. Sergio Perez, fastest lap in the race. That is plus 1400. And
what? That's it?
We are putting a unit on that bad boy. We're going to go Verstappen and Perez to finish in the top three. I think that Red Bull's too fast on the straight even Perez to be Perez, provided he doesn't crash here. And then I'm going to say Lando Norris doesn't make it onto the podium. That's at plus 100. So the Verstappen and Perez finishing together plus 200. Lando Norris not finishing in the top three plus 100.
All right. I like them.
I don't.
I was looking into. All right, nice choices. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go. When I was looking at BetMGM today, I think I found some arbitrage in the app. So I think I'm going to make some money.
Okay.
First bet, both Red Bull drivers to finish in the top 3 plus 200. Going to put a half a unit on that. And then no team has both drivers to finish in the top 3 plus 130, 1 unit.
So
if
wait, hold on.
So if no team has both drivers on the podium.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
Plus 130, or if Red Bull has both finish plus 200. So there's a little bit of money to be made there.
Dude.
I mean, the only other instance that it technically doesn't get made is if like Aston Martin or if McLaren get 2 on the podium, then I lose both. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it. That's not arbitrage in the definitional sense, but it's there, dude. I'm making money on one of these. I've gotta. I have to. All right. And my last one is going to be Alonso in the top 6 plus 120, half a unit.
Love it.
So I did 2 half units, 1 full unit. I'm mitigating my risk here.
Yeah.
These final races. So
I don't blame you at all. I think that's a good strategy. All right.
Unless you hit that 1400, and then I'm going to have to figure this shit out.
That 1400, you know what I just did too with that plus 1400 is made the whole race exciting. Because even if it's an absolute blowout, Sergio
the final lap, they like put on some slicks.
God, I hope so.
Are you doing 1 unit for all 3?
Yes, sir.
Fucking savage. All right, hell yeah.
Positive money, plus money in all of them. All right, let's wrap up with our race predictions. Race predictions. I can't remember who goes first. Marco?
It is right under my nose. Here I go. I'm going to go Crash or DNF, Logan Sargent. Winner, Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes said that they figured out all the bad things they did in Brazil. We're set.
What?
Last
Dude,
place.
Great news.
I know. Good for them, dude. That was it. Took them all the way to the end of this year to be like, we're back. Last place, Danny. Driver of the day, Lando. Douche of the day, Alonso. Wildcard prediction. The sign is on the podium. But the only reason he gets on there is because it's a post-race. They kick the other driver out. So the odds of this happening, if I hit this is 4 wildcard points.
100%.
Like, this is the most insane thing. Yeah. If he's like P4, they're like, hey, sorry, this guy's out.
Like, so you have to root for 2 things. You have to root for Carlos P4
to get exactly P4, and then something crazy to happen after. This should be 10, honestly. I mean, this is an insurmountable if I hit this. All right, moving on. This isn't gonna happen. Fastest lap, Lando, pole, Max. How many cars don't finish? 4.
Love it. I'm gonna go Crash or DNF. I'm gonna go Lewis Hamilton. My winner, Sergio Perez. My last place, Guan Yu Zhou. Driver of the day, I did have Lando Norris. I'm going to say Charles Leclerc. Douche of the day, I did have Charles Leclerc. I'm going to say Carlos Sainz.
All right.
My wildcard prediction is Max doesn't win this race. My fastest lap, Sergio Perez.
Wait.
Position, Sergio.
Non-DNF, you're good.
What's that?
Non-DNF, you're good.
Fine.
You see my wild card? You see what I'm dealing with here?
Fastest lap, Sergio Perez. Pole, Sergio Perez. And then I'm going to say it's a bloodbath with 5 cars not finishing this race. Yeah.
I was wanting to do more than 4. And I was like, let's calm down.
When you
go, it can't be as bad as everyone says.
You start getting into like 7 cars not finishing the race. You're like, all right, so 3 of these guys aren't going to get points. Like, come on. But who knows, dude? Big old pile up going into turn 1 before they even cross turn 1.
Oh my gosh. This could be like such a terrible race that is an amazing race. That's kind of the angle I'm trying to take on this.
The best case scenario for us is that this is so chaotic and there's so many talking points that they can never race here again, and we all got to bear witness.
Yeah, or they say like, we'll give it one more shot, and then we go to that race.
Go to that race, and it's
we figured there's a lot of mess ups on this one, but easily fixed for next year. Dude,
All
what are
right.
they going to do? They have a $250 million, and this is like the home. I think this is going to be like Formula One's like home location. What are they going to do with the $250 million new pit wall if they don't come back to Vegas
I mean,
and they don't race at Vegas? They're like, what are we doing out here?
again, I think that they're like, fuck yeah, they're in Vegas night
This is
mode.
fun. Gambling.
You know what's
Drunk. Let's
awesome?
go. They're like, what about the operations of this? We'll figure that out later.
Let's go play blackjack.
Let's go. We're in Vegas, guys.
All right, everybody. Let's hope for even more chaos than has already happened in the pre-race antics. So everybody sleep tight after the race because it's gonna be a late one. Enjoy your Sunday.
Naps before, sleep after. It'll be fun. Good
Yeah.
thing that the whole weather thing and the coldness issue, they're also doing it at the coldest part of the nights.
Yeah. Yeah. The desert is
It doesn't get cold at night. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was like a big question. I guess they're having to do this just because they're like, it's Vegas. We can't just close around the strip on normal operating hours. I'm
Yeah,
guessing that's why they had to do this.
probably fair.
Yeah. They're like, as much money as you guys think are going to make us, we make more doing our own thing. Sorry.
Anyway, all right, everybody, enjoy the Grand Prix in Vegas. We will see you on the other side. See you, assholes.
See you, assholes.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
I used to say I lived my life a quarter mile at a time. And I think that's why we were brothers. Because you did too.